I've been using Apple's new AirPods Pro 3 for the last 2 months and they've exceeded my expectations in every way, but the AirPods 4 just went on sale on Amazon for 50% off to just $69, which is a once in a lifetime kind of deal, so I figured I'd give them another go, pop them back in my ears, see how they sound, and wow, these are mind-blowingly good. So I started asking myself, why would anybody pay over 3 times more for the AirPods Pro 3, which these are now on Amazon for $220 on sale, and I'm sure you're probably asking the same question. So in this video, I'm gonna go through 10 real-world differences between these two, including some that you can only discover once you actually use them, and then at the end of this video, I'll recommend which ones you should buy. Now, the first major difference is sound leakage, which is a huge problem on the AirPods 4 compared to the Pro 3. So instead of just telling you about it, I'm actually gonna pop these into my ears and do a little demonstration for you guys so you can hear the difference. Let me know your guys' thoughts because the AirPods Pro 3 are a lot louder than the AirPods 4, but the leakage problem is worse on the 4s. Now for difference number 2, we have the portability and the size. Now I don't care what she tells you, size does matter. And the biggest thing is how it fits in your pocket because the AirPods Pro 3 case actually got bigger this year and I find it just a little bit too bulky when I'm putting it in my pocket right next to my MagSafe wallet. And because of the extra size, I feel like I have to stack it on top of the wallet, which makes it look like I have a bulge in the wrong place, while the AirPods 4 are a lot more compact. Just look at the difference. They slide right into that little spot where you have extra room in your pocket. Maybe it's not a huge deal, but it is a difference that not everyone talks about. Now for number 3, it's the battery life, and the battery life on the AirPods Pro 3 is insane. It's finally perfect because Apple transferred a lot of the battery life from the case itself to the buds. Now it's finally at a point where these last so long on a single charge that I have not had a single time where I've heard the low battery notification because I put them in and I'm done with them and put them back before I even get that notification. While the AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation, they're $99 on Amazon right now, still a crazy good deal, but with active noise cancellation, it's only 4 hours of battery life on the buds, literally half the time of the AirPods 3, and I find them draining all the time in the middle of my usage sessions. And speaking of active noise cancellation, we have number 4, and this is a massive, massive difference. Now, the AirPods 4s with Ink, it's okay, you know, it sounds good enough to get rid of some of that noise, but I find myself having to increase the volume on the 4s to get that really nice immersive music experience. And if you're on a flight, you're gonna wanna raise the volume to get rid of all of that flight noise, but then you're worried about the sound leakage being too loud so that your neighbor or person next to you will hear and judge your crappy music taste. Even just in this office, I can still hear the HVAC noise with the AirPods 4s, while on the 3s, everything goes away and I can't hear anything at all, just me and my thoughts. And that makes for a very relaxing plane flight, being able to turn down the volume really low to just relax without having all that annoying plane noise. This is just the best. Now for number 5, we have comfort, and the AirPods Pro 3 are so much more comfortable for me because I've just used the AirPods 4 for the past hour as a refresher, and I started to notice some pain around the inside of my ear, even though these are supposed to be very comfy. But with the AirPods Pro 3, I can use these for hours with no fatigue or pain, and that's because Apple has redesigned them so that just the tip goes inside, which is undoubtedly less painful and allows for longer sessions. Moving on to number 6, we have sound quality, and let me tell you, the Pro 3s are absolutely incredible. They sound amazing no matter if you're listening at low volumes or completely blasting the crap out of your eardrums at 100%. They give you a very consistent listening experience and incredible clarity and bass. Now, while the AirPods 4 do sound really good, like shockingly good for only 69 bucks, I've noticed that when you max out the volume, the mid to high punches and snares start to fail a little bit, so you get a feeling like you have to turn it down to get the sound quality to get a little bit better. But not with the Pro 3s. They sound absolutely incredible all the way through with really deep bass. I mean, I just went back and forth between these two, listening to Passion Fruit by Drake, and the difference in bass is absolutely massive due to the Pro 3s having a sealed design, which essentially pressurizes the air in your ear canal and allows for movement with great bass reproduction. Now for 7, we have the controls, and the main downside with the AirPods 4 is that you do not have the swipe up and down feature for adjusting the volume, and that is super useful on the Pro 3s if you don't want to pull out your phone to adjust the volume, or especially if you're on a flight, like I like to take my iPhone, put it in that little seat back pocket, and just swipe on the AirPods themselves to adjust, which is very, very convenient. For number 8, this is a small one. It might not matter to a lot of people, but the Pro 3s do have more advanced sensors and health features, like you have your heart rate sensing during workouts. You also have your hearing aid feature. So if you care about that stuff, the Pro 3s are the way to go. For difference number 9, the AirPods 4 do not have MagSafe magnets built in, which is kind of annoying because if you have a MagSafe charger that you love to use all the time, MagSafe with the AirPods Pro 3 is really, really convenient. Now I know with the AirPods 4 you can get a case that has magnets built in so you could charge them that way, but I've found that I always resort to just using these naked since they look and feel more premium and they take up less space in your pocket. And finally, for number 10, the AirPods Pro 3 are a lot more flexible in terms of getting a great fit because you get a bunch of extra ear tips in the box. So if by chance the standard tips are too big, you can swap them out for smaller ones. And since only the tips go in, the Pro 3s will fit a wider range of people's ears. And finally, let's move on to who should buy which pair of AirPods. By the way, I'll have links to all of these down below. Well, if you're buying these as the first AirPods for your kids, the $69 regular AirPods 4 are a great starting point and more than enough that any kid will need. Or if you want to give them as a gift for somebody else, but you don't want to break the bank, they'll think you're crazy for spending over $100 on them, but in reality, these were just 69 bucks. Now, the $99 AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation are for when you're buying them for yourself while in a budgeting season of your life, because they sound great, they work great, they're compact, they work amazing with the Apple ecosystem, so it's a great buy. Or if you're trying to make a more intentional gift purchase where the person you're buying them for has mentioned active noise cancellation in the past and they know what that is and they care about it, well, you definitely got to go with the $99 AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. And now finally, who should be buying the AirPods Pro 3? I mean, they're $220 on Amazon, so over 3 times more cash than the cheapest AirPods 4. Well, if you're someone who really cares about audio quality and you have the extra cash this season, then definitely buy the AirPods Pro 3 because the sound quality, the comfort, the battery life is on a whole new level. Or if you've owned a pair of AirPods Pro in the past, obviously get the Pro 3s instead of the regular ones. And in terms of gift giving, these should be reserved for only the closest people around you, like your spouse, since you live with them, so you can make sure that they're actually using them enough to justify the $220 purchase. Jokes aside, you'll find links to each one of these deals down below. Let me know your thoughts on the differences in the comments and subscribe up there for more videos like this one. And be sure to check out Max's AirPods Pro 2 versus 3 video right there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.